माला थोड़ा स्मॉल छोटा है.
Bhrihad. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 21, entitled Instructions by Maharaja, Prithu. And today, text number 36. Aho mami vitaran yanu graham harim gurum yagya bhujam adishvaram Swadharma yogena yajanti mamaka Nirantaram shoni taladrita vrata Mataji's. Aho. Oh, all of you. Mama, unto me. Ami, all of them. Vitaranti, and distributing anugraham, mercy, Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Gurun, the Supreme Spiritual Master, Yagya Bhojam, all the demigods eligible to accept Yagya offerings, Adishvaram, the Supreme Master, Swadharma, occupational duties, Yogena, by dint of, Yajanti, worship, Mamaka, having a relationship with me, Nirantaram, incessantly, Shonitale, on the surface of the globe, Drita Vrataha, with firm determination. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the master and enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. And He is the Supreme Spiritual Master as well. All of you citizens on the surface of the globe who have a relationship with me and are worshipping Him by dint of your allowing your mercy upon me. Therefore, O my citizens, I thank you. Purport. Maharaja's Prita's advice to his citizens to take to devotional service is now concluded in two ways. He has repeatedly advised persons who are neophytes to engage themselves in devotional service according to the capacities of the different orders of social and spiritual life. But here he specifically thanks those already engaged in such devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is actually the enjoyer of all sacrificial ceremonies and who is also the Supreme Teacher as Antaryami, or Paramatma. There is specific mention of the word Gurum, which indicates the Supreme Personality as Chaitya Guru. The Supreme Godhead in His Paramatma feature is present in everyone's heart, and He is always trying to induce the individual soul to surrender unto Him and to engage in devotional service. Therefore, He is the original spiritual master. He manifests Himself as a spiritual master both internally and externally to help the conditioned soul both ways. Therefore, He has been mentioned, He has Guru. It appears, however, that in the time of Maharaj Prithu, all the people on the surface of the globe were His subjects. Most of them, in fact, almost all of them, were engaged in devotional service. Therefore, He thanked them in a humble way for engaging in devotional service and thus bestowing the mercy upon him. In other words, in a state where the citizens and the head of state are engaged in devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they help one another and are mutually benefited. Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In the Science of Self-Realization book, Srila Prabhupada indicates that a person may not know who God is, but the person may understand that there must be God. And then Srila Prabhupada indicates that sometimes a person may say, oh God, I am suffering so much. Who are you and where are you? People pray like that. So the super soul in the heart is generally known as a Paramatma. And Paramatma basically has two functions. Upadrasta Anumantacha. So the Paramatma is an overseer and a permitter without interfering and telling the conditioned soul what to do and what not to do. So I give an example generally of how that happens. So the super soul, known as Paramatma in Sanskrit, is like a referee in a game. You have two sides playing the game. And obviously there will be a winning side and a losing side. But if the referee is not bribed and he ensures that the rules of the game are being followed, then somebody will be victorious and one other team will be losing. But the referee is neutral. A genuine referee is neutral. The referee doesn't have to suffer the loss of the game or enjoy the victory of the game or the winning the game. He's just neutral. But he awards loss and gain or success according to who plays properly, according to the rules of the game. So Srila Prabhupada has many times indicated that dharmam chakshat bhagavat pranitam, that the laws of material nature and the laws of dharma, Sanatana Dharma in general, especially the Dharma Shastras, are enunciated and given specifically by Krishna. And the Paramatma, which is a feature of Krishna, executes that Dharmam Chakshat Bhagavat Pranitam according to the guna and karma, the nature and the activities of the conditioned souls. So similarly, the referee doesn't have anything to do with interfering with the use of proper use or the use of misuse of the independence of the living entity. However, although in the purport Srila Prabhupada uses the word Paramatma, he also mentions another feature of the Supersoul. And the word is not Paramatma, and the word is called Chaitaguru, which is mentioned here. So if that conditioned soul who is acutely suffering in the material world prays, God, who are you and where are you? I'm suffering so much here. Then the super soul in the feature of the Paramatma changes its functionality of not just being Upadrashta Anumantacha, of not just being the overseer and permitter. Because the Paramatma feature now hears the cries of the conditioned soul, because the conditioned soul is accompanied by the Paramatma. The Paramatma is with the soul within the region of the heart. So then when the hears the helpless cries of the suffering conditioned soul, then immediately the Paramatma changes its functionality to Chaitaguru. And Chaitaguru is now an overseer and permitter to the favorability of helping the conditioned soul come out of its conditioning and connect them to devotees or devotional service. See? So we'll take the same example of that personality who was crying out, God, I'm suffering, who are you, where are you? And then he leaves home and he goes to his office. So before he goes to the office, something internally is telling him, don't go straight to the office. He doesn't know who's giving him that direction. But something is intuitively, intuition is telling him, walk that way. So he walks to the end of the street, now turn left. And immediately right in front of him is the Harinam Sankirtan party. And then he says, now go towards them. And then one devotee is distributing books. And he's walking to the book distributor. And the book distributor says, oh, Krishna is sending this person. It's true. Chaitaguru. Normally the book distributor has to go to somebody. But this person is coming to the book. Chaitaguru is saying, go to him. Because he asked the question. And he's crying out, oh God, who are you? Where are you? I'm suffering. So that's the Chaitaguru. It's different from Paramatma. So Param means supreme, Atma means supreme soul. He is accompanying the soul. But Chaitaguru means now the Lord is in your heart, who is guiding you as a guru. So therefore it's stated in this verse that the supreme spiritual master is Krishna himself in the form of Chaitaguru for the conditioned soul. And then Adho Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, anatta nivriti begins for that person. When you receive a book and so forth. So the super soul in the English language has three functions in three different features. So one is Paramatma, like a referee who's neutral. And the other is, I discussed now, Cheta Guru, the same Paramatma is functioning in a different way for the conditioned soul to lead the conditioned soul to the association of devotees and receive Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, get initiated and so forth. But in Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada mentions clearly that there's also a super soul in the spiritual world. And that Paramatma in the spiritual world is called a Rasa Vigraha. So generally we hear that the super soul is in the heart, but it's not in Golok Vrindavan. But that's not correct. So Srila Prabhupada gives the examples of the wives of the Dvijabandhus, the ritualistic brahmanas. So the pastime is there when Krishna and Balaram requested their cowherd boyfriends to go to the brahmanas that before they perform the ritualistic ceremonies, please ask them for some bhoga to bring for us as foodstuffs. So the brahmanas were so absorbed in their ritualistic, you could say, transcendental karma kanda activities that they didn't identify Krishna and Balaram as the source of the beneficiary of all their sacrifices. So they refused. So when the cowherd boys came back, then Krishna and Balaram said, now you go to the Dvijapatnis, go to their wives. So immediately when the cowherd boys went to the wives transcended being wife. And they went and took the same bhoga for the sacrificial offerings and profusely gave the boys. And the boys brought the fruits and other offerings before it could be offered in the ritualistic ceremony to Krishna and Balaram. And that pleased Krishna and Balaram very much. Because the wives of the ritualistic brahmanas, they couldn't have done it if they didn't transcend being wives of the ritualistic brahmanas. So they transcended the upadhi, the designation. And as a result, the wives of the brahmanas had more conjugal feelings, especially for Sri Krishna, who received their offerings, whereas the brahmanas themselves were just having like a husband and a wife, you could say, Brahmanical relationship of culture. So because Krishna and Balaram requested through the cowherd boys, they were so happy that they were enjoying more by pleasing Krishna and Balaram, and they wanted to get the darshan of Krishna and Balaram. But we know that Krishna is Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We are aware that Krishna always respects the and always respects and worships the cows and the brahmanas. So Krishna kept the Dharma Shastra intact and did not transcend that. At the same time, he reciprocated with the wives of the brahmanas. Not as the wives of the brahmanas, but as his pure devotees. So when the wives of the brahmanas came to a feature within Vraj Mandala, and they could immediately get the darshan of Krishna and Balaram amongst the cowherd boys from a distance, a distance. So for the cowherd boys, there's no need to see the rasa vigraha as super soul in the spiritual world, because Krishna is playing with them. See? But the Dvijapatnis, they were a little distance away, but Krishna wanted to reciprocate with them. At the same time, he has to maintain dharma by respecting the brahmanas. Nama Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Itaja. So he didn't want to upset the husbands with the Dvija brahmanas, like ritualistic brahmanas. At the same time, he wanted to reciprocate with their wives, who are not acting as wives but as his pure devotees. So how to do that? So Balaram saw Krishna closing his eyes and entering into meditation. See? Simultaneously at that time, the Dvijapatnis, they also closed their eyes and entered into meditation. So when Krishna closed his eyes, although the cowherd boys were around him, they could understand that Krishna has gone somewhere else, and they respected that meditation. And the Dvijapatnis, they also closed their eyes, and then Prabhupada states in the Krishna book that Krishna entered as the Paramatma into their hearts. And they could feel the presence of Krishna in his reciprocation as not as the Paramatma or not as the Chaita Guru, but he entered as a super soul in their hearts as the Rasa Vigraha. Like relationship means rasa, the form of Krishna himself. Super soul is form. Chaita Guru is like the intuitive, intuition consciousness that guides one. But this is Krishna himself with his flute entering into their hearts as the Rasa Vigraha. And that in English is also called super soul. Prabhupada mentions that in the Krishna book. So it's interesting, there's 3 features of the super soul, including in Krishna Leela. All right, and normally we have to give more time for questions and answers, and I have the first question. So Rasamai, Radha Ranjan Prabhu, did you receive your Rasamalai?
It's there. I got next there with one single devotees. And there is some more than that I get.
Give him microphone. I'm a little disappointed that he didn't receive. I received mine, he didn't receive his.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I called Prabhu at 5 o'clock, before 5 o'clock, but he told I will be coming at 6 o'clock. But I told it's too late, otherwise Maharaj will be not happy.
I am unhappy. I'm a person, I'm not a machine. I have emotions.
Then he told 5:30 I'll come. But I expected he didn't came.
He had some other rasa somewhere else.
Yes. More than Rasmalai.
Yeah. So you're going to deliver today morning.
Yeah. Again, night 8 o'clock he came. I told him now it's late. You can have that at morning.
So did you deliver the rasmalai to me for him too?
For Maharaj?
My delivery happened.
Yes, Maharaj.
You have a separate delivery for him?
Yes, Maharaj. And also for
Is
donors.
is it still there or somebody has taken
No,
it?
it's still there. As for me, I won't check.
Under lock and key?
No lock and key. It is kept. We hope that it will be there.
You mean your presence means lock and key? If it's missing, you come to me, I'll give you some. So his name is Rasamai, now it's Rasmalai, Radharanjan. I didn't reinitiate it, don't worry. So that's my first question. Now do you have any questions or comments? Microphone here. There's 1, 2, 3 hands up.
I have two questions.
One for now.
In Krishna book that past, like when Krishna appeared, so like Prabhupada said that he first entered the heart of Vasudeva, and from Vasudeva's heart entered into Devaki Maiya's heart. So is that also Rasa Vikula of Krishna entering first Vasudeva's heart, he feeling enlightened, and then transferred to Mother Devaki?
In a sense, you could say that, because that's not the Paramatma or Chaita Guru. And that's Vasudev Krishna, that's not Shyama Sundar Krishna. In a sense, that can be there. Because Devaki and Vasudev first got darshan of Vishnu four-arm form or Narayan four-arm form, and then entered the heart. And then he appeared as a little baby. See? So specifically the Paramatma means neutral, overseer and primitive. Specifically the Chaita Guru, who you cannot see but you can perceive and you can feel without you knowing that's the Chaita Guru, will lead you to the association of devotees and devotional service. But here clearly this Rasa Vigraha is the form of the Lord that can be perceived in one's heart in Krishna Leela. But here, in relation to Devaki and Vasudev, it is not exactly like that, or it may be like that. See? Because Vasudev is feeling the presence of Vasudev, Krishna. And then that is transferred into the consciousness or heart of Devaki. See? So this similar question was asked to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada gave a mundane answer to illustrate relative to our material experience of how to understand that. See? And Srila Prabhupada said, in the gross sense, when a mother and father, if they're cultured, through Garbhadar Samskar, if they're cultured and they commit union, I'm using cultured language. If the mother and father are husband and wife, and they want to become mother and father, so they commit union, and then a soul enters into the womb of the mother at the time of conception. See? Can the mother and father see that soul? But they can feel when the mother goes to some medical gynecologist or something, and they'll say, now you are pregnant now. How she became pregnant, she doesn't know. All she was aware of was union, and he is aware that there's union between the husband and wife. See? So that soul, when it enters the womb of the mother at the time of conception, is accompanied by the Paramatma. So Prabhupada indicated it's not like that with Devaki and Vasudeva. They don't commit union. You understand? It's not gross. It's not dirty. This is pure. So Krishna does not have to enter the heart and consciousness of Vasudeva accompanied by the Super Soul. Krishna is the source of the Super Soul. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you. I was trying to figure out the cause of my cough, and I figured it out yesterday. It's the spices that's coming from the kitchen. You can feel it right here. I am super acute and sensitive to it. Especially the garam masala. It flows through the air. Kitchen is just here, right? It comes up, heat rises, flavors rise. So if you go to the kitchen now and you ask the cook, what is he doing? He says he's putting the spices. He'll tell you it's doing it almost now, just like a few minutes ago. So when Vasudeva Krishna appears as Narayana or Vishnu first, and then he enters the consciousness of Vasudeva, and then that consciousness is transferred, which Devaki feels, to herself, and then she appears to be pregnant with child. There's no grossness in this. There's no jiva is entering there in a regular condition. So, and then it appears that Devaki will give birth to a baby, and then the baby appears out of her consciousness without her going through the pain of childbirth. See? So in a sense there's rasa, but there's no super soul in that sense. Is that okay? So there were two hands up, and then there's a third one. They had their hands up first here. Then there's a fourth hand up. Any hands up there with the Matajis? Any questions you have? Good? Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj, for
Hemangi. Okay.
Thank you so much for clear explanation of Super Soul, Chaitya and Rasavika. My question was, we have heard that the astrological influence or the planets which generally affect our karma. So it affects unless someone is a pure devotee and he may not get affected, but otherwise everyone else is affected. So in case you feel I am right, then I can ask my question.
Continue.
So we see if we have some spiritual desires, but the karma or the influence of planets or as per astrology does not help, then to what extent Chaitya Guru facilitates our spiritual desires, or only when there is extreme or unalloyed surrender to Guru, only in that case that influence of karma can be put aside and we can go ahead with our.
So there are two principles. One is that you have to stop being a rascal, And the second is, don't use the process of Krishna consciousness to fulfill your desires on your terms. Don't use the process of Krishna consciousness and mix it with astrology to fulfill your desires, which may appear to you to be spiritual, but actually it's not. So spiritual means anukulyana Krishna anusilanam bhakti uttama. That's spiritual. That when you come to that point where you want to please Krishna as Krishna wants to be pleased, and serve Krishna as Krishna wants to be served, which comes through the via medium of the disciplic succession and the via medium of your immediate either ashram authority or service authority or the temple president, it comes through the via medium. See? So in the formative stages of Krishna consciousness, the mind is a bigger rascal. So don't be influenced by the rascaldom of the mind. Therefore I said don't be a rascal. And the second feature is don't use Krishna consciousness. In other words, you're losing faith in the process of bhakti, because bhakti is independent and free from all other processes. But bhakti is only dependent on one thing. Bhakti is only dependent on bhakti. So when you introduce astrology, when you introduce a demigod worship, when you introduce whatever other worship, see, that is not even karma misra bhakti. That is contaminating your own faith in the process of pure devotional service. Have I answered your question? Our process is tatenu kampam susamikshamanu. Our process is that whatever comes to us that's inconvenient and painful and reverses, it is due to just a token of the actual reaction we're meant to go through. So a devotee welcomes suffering. A devotee who follows the basic standard of pure devotional service welcomes suffering. So if you welcome suffering, you do not suffer. See? But if suffering comes unexpectedly as an unwelcome guest, then you suffer. It's like if you look forward to pain, there's no pain. But if you're looking forward to enjoy, but pain comes, then you suffer. So one should not contaminate the process of devotional service, either with jnana, What's the first two lines? Anukulyana. First two lines. Anyabhilasata sunyam jnana karma adhyana avitam. So we should not contaminate devotional service with jnana, karma. Karma adi means yogic mysticism or metaphysical ways of looking at things like even astrology or whatever. You should be free from all that. Anavrita. Kick it out. See? Anyabhilasita. It should be zero. Jnana karma dhyana. Then only anukulyana. Krishna anusilanam bhakti uttama.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. I had a question on
What was wonderful about the class?
like your explanation about Paramatma, Chaitya and Rasavigraha.
And
And then the pastime of the ritualistic Brahmanas and the Dvija Patnis. How Prabhupada explains that there is super soul in the spiritual world also, but he is Rasavigraha.
What's your question?
My question is, as yesterday I was just reading the book, The Dancing White Elephant. So there Bhrihad Maharaj once he asked Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, can we keep our right hand always in the bead bag so that we don't waste time, and whenever time permits we can chant. And sometimes some prasadam or something is being offered with the left hand only, you can open with the mouth. Prabhupada said, okay, you can do that. So the question
But
is,
that's for Giriraj Swami, not for you.
yeah, so the question is, like Prabhupada always emphasized on pure devotional aspects rather than the rituals.
Yes.
So how do we balance this? Because
That pastime he may have given, you have to do it privately, not in public. If you do that in public, how is this Swami, he's eating with his left hand, what is wrong here? So we should not do things in public that will allow others to criticize us. So when they criticize us, it's not to their benefit. Then they will not come back to Krishna consciousness. In public, you have to follow every little etiquette in culture. Are we good?
yes, Maharaj. Can I ask one more question? Can I ask one more question?
No, he had also had two questions. You wait for the other one. Rasmalai or Rasamai?
Hare Krishna. Thank
Yeah.
you, Maharaj, for all the encouragement. Maharaj, in case of Dhruv Maharaj, when Lord manifested out of this intense meditation, so is that super soul just Chaitya Guru or Rasa Vigraha? Like, just Chaitya Guru or what? Chaitya Guru was like he...
Narayan was in front of him.
But just before Lord came outside, like Savay Yoga Bhakti, like that was 492. So that time he was very enjoyingly, like he was releasing the actual super soul inside. So that, what is the role of super soul that time?
See, Dhruva Maharaj is not a Paramatma Vadi. See? You get a Brahma Vadi, you get a Paramatma Vadi, and you get a Bhakta. So Dhruva Maharaj is not a Brahma Vadi, and he wasn't a Bhakta at that time. But Dhruva Maharaj is not a Bhakta within Yogamaya. Not that somebody is not a devotee within Mahamaya. Just like Arjuna is in Maya within Yogamaya. To teach us how to come out of our Maya within Mahamaya. So these are participants within the Leela, Shakti or pastime potency of the Lord. See? So Dhruva Maharaj's internal, because Srimad Bhagavatam, you should know, is Nirmatsaranam Satam. It is completely pure. And all the players are completely pure. Even Duryodhana. Because they all come within the Leela Shakti or pastime potency of the Lord to teach us a lesson as conditioned souls. So Dhruva Maharaj was meditating by the instruction of his mother, go to the forest and meditate on God, on Narayan. He did that. His mother was his Vatma Pradakshaka or Guru. So he followed the instruction. So when he opened his eyes, he was not a Paramatma Vadi. He was meditating to get darshan of the Lord to to ask the Lord to fulfill his request, to get a planet even greater than his great-grandfather, Lord Brahma himself, better than even Brahmaloka. But when the Lord appeared in front of him, then he opened his eyes. Now whether the Lord appears out of his heart or appeared from somewhere else, that is the free will of the Lord. See? Just like we see the Archa Vigraha here, Radha Krishna. At the same time, the Paramatma is still with you. See? So when that happened, then Dhruva Maharaj immediately when he got the darshan of Narayan, form Narayan, then immediately became purified of his request to ask the Lord that I want a greater kingdom than my great-grandfather, than Lord Brahma himself. And then he said that famous verse that I was looking for broken glass and now I found jewel. Is that okay? Question in the back, 2 more questions. No, there's 2 hands, there's 3 hands up actually.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Jai Ras Malai Ki Jai.
You asked that Prabhu, what is wonderful about the class? Actually,
because sometimes when you ask, when I ask the question, then they get stuck, they can't say anything because they were sleeping. It's just being nice, wonderful. What is one? Okay. What was wonderful? Now you go ahead.
I noticed my opinion. Actually, when we hear the classes, as per the formality, you hear the class as a story or some philosophy. But now, by your mercy, your class, we are really connected. The links, actually we miss the links while hearing, they just go through like that. Every detail, every this thing we can understand. That we don't miss actually connection between, suppose a spiritual or material, the comparison. We are generally using, hearing the material classes generally. You are talking about spiritual subject. We really get connected. The detail and deep this thing that is really wonderful. We may not be having that capacity, but sometimes the classes we hear also goes like on this thing. Now
you have to be careful. You see, every devotee is potentially divine because he is representing Vyasadeva. So don't compare my speaking to other person's speaking. We always have to respect devotees in general. So don't be comparative.
It's an audience capacity.
Don't be. I appreciate your appreciation. That's fine. However, I attend every class where I am, except when my health is not good. In Vrindavan, I sit every day for Bhagavatam class. So many people come to me, they say, I only come to class when you give class. They tell me that. I said, no, then you don't come to my class also. You must come every day to Bhagavatam class because we are following Prabhupada's instruction to become purified. That is the meaning of Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nityam Seva. Yeah. So be a little bit careful when you're trying to appreciate my humble attempts to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam in relation to others who are also giving class. So don't be comparative and don't be competitive.
I'll ask pardon.
No, you don't have to ask any pardon. You are appreciating me speaking Srimad Bhagavatam but you also have to appreciate new devotees and encourage them to give more classes. Just like you have a son.
Yes,
How old is the son?
20 years.
So, do you encourage him to give Srimad Bhagavata? No, right?
No.
Yeah. But if your son comes and sits where I am, will you attend the class?
As you told
What's
us,
your name?
Srivas Krishnadas.
Don't worry about what I told earlier. I'm asking you a question now. If Srivas
Srivas Krishnadas.
is your son,
No, my name.
your son's name?
Yugal Kishore.
So if Yugal Kishore Prabhu comes and he never gave Bhagavatam class before, you got it?
Yes.
He's very inexperienced. So he comes and sits here and he gives class. Will you attend that class?
Yeah.
Why? He's inexperienced. He may fumble, he may make mistake. Why will you attend? Tell me why.
I expect him to give good classes. I mean, I have to check him. Sorry. And
You are attending to find fault? Naughty. He's so naughty. In a nice way. Srivas, you are a Pandit, right? Srivas Pandit. Thakurji. Srivas Thakur, Srivas Pandit. Same person. You see, you will look forward to come to hear from your son. Even if spoken imperfectly, it is perfect. Because he is your son. And then you're going to tell the other family members, you know, my Yugal Kishore gave Bhagavatam class and we recorded it. You have better see it. See how nice he was speaking. He had some here and there, but overall he did very good, you know. He's my son. And you won't sleep in the class. Although he may be like monotonous, Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. Yeah. But if somebody has the same monotony and so forth, when they give, you'll sleep. But when your son is giving class, you won't sleep. Do you know why? Because you have feeling and affection for him. You are attached to Yugal Kishore Prabhu. Yes or no?
yes,
So the same extended family feeling should be for the community of devotees. Whoever is giving class, you will be attentive. See? That what can I learn from this Srimad Bhagavatam speaker today? Not how can I find fault. Have I answered your question?
yes, Maharaj, 100%.
It's not 100%, it's 108%.
Now what I miss.
I don't go to Srimad Bhagavatam class to see who is not in class. I go to Srimad Bhagavatam class because it's the last feature of our sadhana of the morning program, so that I can feel nourished spiritually. I benefit more than the speaker because I feel nourished. Then I look forward to breakfast prasad, which is the last feature of our sadhana in the morning. We passed the breakfast prasadam time. So what do we do? Take more, there's hands up. There's one hand was in the back. There's another hand here. Okay, we'll just take this two more. Is it okay? So we can increase your appetite a little bit. Yes, Prabhu, your name again?
Karunya Garangadas.
Karunya?
Gauranga Das.
So give us some mercy, Karunya.
For that only I have come here.
Karunya Gauranga. Before you ask your question, I was first in line to ask for mercy. You didn't ask for mercy, I asked first. So you should fulfill my desire. And if you want me to give mercy, I am known to do open heart surgery without anesthesia. So be careful.
Question is like, yesterday also you were speaking about hearing Prabhupada and other things. So always I had this doubt, like I listen to Prabhupada lectures and sometimes morning walks also. But I skip the conversations, the letters, because Prabhupada gives different instructions to different devotees, sometimes it's contradictory. So should we focus on that also, or just hear lectures and books?
You like Rasagulla?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Is it round?
Yes.
So when you take a Rasagulla to eat, which is the starting point? You know, like from what side do you start to eat? Is there like a beginning part of the Rasagulla to eat? Yes or no?
No.
So hearing from Srila Prabhupada is like that. Whether you hear the morning walks, whether you hear the conversations, or whether you're partially hearing Krishna book dictations, or you're hearing a bhajan or kirtan, hearing from Prabhupada is like a Rasagulla. You can start from anywhere, from any side. You have to have that realization. Even when Srila Prabhupada, because I hear his lectures often. So Srila Prabhupada, while he's speaking, he may say, he may cough, he may say, that's also transcendental. It's like shabda. See? And sometimes Srila Prabhupada is neutral in his response when somebody speaks to him. He'll just say, That's also transcendental. And then Srila Prabhupada knows that somebody wants to ask him something, and they're not asking. They're not asking. He says, come on, what is it? And you're thinking, but what is Maharaj speaking about? It's not part of the lecture. And then some Prabhupada will say to somebody, it's like he wants to encourage them to speak up. He'll say, so? Another time he will say, yes. And his eyes will lift up and he will penetrate you. Yes. Everything is Rasagulla. His mannerisms, his way, everything. Have I answered your question, or you still have a question?
Like sometimes we try to take the lesson, the conversation or letter, but that is for a specific devotee. Or just to...
Karuna, let me ask you a question to answer your question fully. Got it? There must be someone in your life that you are quite attached to. Maybe mama, papa, brother, sister, devotee. You have anyone?
Yes, sir.
Who?
Like many are there.
Specifically one person.
Mother.
Yes. So you have much affection and care for your mother. Yeah. You understand? So when your mother speaks, she may not speak philosophy, right? What she calls you in an affectionate way. What name? Say it, don't bring.
Karthik.
Yeah. You say, Karthik. And you say, my mother is so affectionate to me. Right? Then after a few seconds again, Karthik. And you come forward. Then the third time, oh Karthik, you have come. Karthik, come closer. So, in the expanse of like maybe 1 minute or so, she said the word Karthik 4 times. Is there any philosophy to that? But you are drawn automatically, right? Just by her calling out your name. See? And then you'll always be her little boy, even if you are a grandfather too. Right? Okay, Karthik, come, you eat little. She's eating and she's had some in her hand, right? And she feeds you and you feed. Now you are full. No, Karthik, you take more. You'll take, right? Out of affection. So every word and every syllable and every cough of Srila Prabhupada is a rasagula. And that comes through affection for Srila Prabhupada. As much as you have affection for your mother, immediately when she coughs, Mama, oh, what happened? Should I get some medicine? That's how you should hear. That is beyond sadhana bhakti. It's on the platform of bhava. Bhava means we have affection. Bhava means emotional, spiritual affection. Once you have that, then every word that Prabhupada said, it's rasagula. It's sweet. I want to stop now with the rasagula. But rasmalai for him. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vranda ki, Bhagavat Breakfast Prasadam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.